Keegan's record is totally doesn't count. It's different course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just scratch it from the record book.
I know, man. Plus, he cheated.
Yeah, he definitely cheated. We don't know how, but somehow he cheated.
Talk about spreading fake news, huh?
Yeah.
What is up, party people? Adam told me I had to do the intro this week, so sorry, but you get me again. Here we go. First of all, the new SILCA code that we've got from now until I think Black Friday or Thanksgiving or something like that is Bonk Bros 2024, capital B at the beginning. This week on the pod, we're talking about off-season training, really just sizing each other up to see who's going to train the most or overtrain the most during the off-season between me and Dillon and the other guys. Dillon still thinks I'm an idiot for going to BWR this weekend, but I'm looking forward to it. It'll probably be fun. We also talk about, last week we talked about fake bike racing. This week we talked about fake boxing between the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight. We had a pretty long discussion about that and some hypothetical Lance Armstrong situations that were pretty funny. And then after that, we mostly talked about listener questions, finally answering some of you guys' long sought answers for these questions that you've submitted. Some of the big topics we talked about was Shimano versus SRAM drive chains and all of our opinions. And then we talked about specific frames that fit mountain bike tires, so nothing new there. And then lastly, we talked about, that was pretty much it. So without further ado, enjoy the episode. Dang, Tyler's looking extra bald today.
No, that sounded too scripted, man. Sounded too rehearsed. You're gonna have to do it again.
This happens every week. I'll say something stupid or funny before Adam presses the record button, and Dillon gets all butthurt. He's like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta press the record button."
Well, you remember I used to press the record button like as soon as I would log on, but then we were having all those audio issues, so I stopped.
Yeah. I mean, it did make it more authentic, but yeah, the audio issues.
Yeah.
We'll
Wait, so can you elaborate on Tyler's baldness? What about him looks extra bald?
Yeah, Tyler,
today?
are you going full aero?
Yeah, dude. I created my own wind tunnel here. It's just a fan with a little
strings taped to it.
Dr. Scholl's foot spray spraying through the end, so I can just see where the foils are created.
Yo, legit question: do you think a bald head is more aero than an aero helmet? Probably is. The area is quite reduced.
Yeah, you're the aero guy, dude. You should test it out.
There's only one way to find out. We'll have to shave somebody's head when we're in the wind tunnel in a couple months.
Can rock, paper, scissors for
What
it.
about a mullet? You think a mullet's?
Oh, yeah, because they say hair down the back actually disrupts the air.
Yeah.
So if you did like a mohawk that was only down the back of your head, you were bald on the top, and then you just had like a little mohawk.
Okay, no. Back. Here's what you do. You shape the back of your head hair.
Oh yeah,
to be an airfoil.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, dude. Like
so
you have airfoil
like a long mohawk.
Yeah, like a long but just
the
back
long dong
like,
mohawk.
We're pretty close. That's pretty close to ponytail. Like,
dude,
why would?
Basically, what you're doing is you're making an aero helmet shape with your back head hair.
Then ponytails probably are more aero. Like when I had that ponytail sticking out of the back of my helmet.
You had a ponytail?
Yeah, you don't remember those days? For like a whole 2 years, I had a ponytail.
I don't think we knew you then.
Nah, it was I came across the old pictures that me and Dillon had when we started the company, and I was starting to grow my hair out then, so it was kind of long. It was like down to here, and then like a year later.
Because you did the what was that? What'd you do for Halloween?
Oh yeah.
What's it called?
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that's right.
And I did Castaway. I did 2 Tom Hanks characters in one.
Classic.
Yeah.
Dude, when we first started the company, you kind of just looked like Justin Bieber. It was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, but I had braces too, which was embarrassing. You look exactly the same still. Like you look the same that you did 5 years ago.
Well, I haven't dramatically changed my hairstyle, but
Yeah.
He has a shit ton more tattoos though.
Mm.
Yeah.
True.
You got any off-season
I don't
tattoos?
know if you had any tattoos when we started the company, at least visible.
Except for my massive back tattoo, dude.
Huh.
It says arrow is life.
Are you going to say it's just a giant dragon on your back or something like that? Nice little tramp stamp down there. It's like
that'd probably be on brand.
It'd have to be like a dragon and a hamster combined or something. Like, it wouldn't just be a dragon. It has to be some stupid thing where you combine two random animals together.
Dude, serious question. Before you, are you like microdosing psilocybin or something like that? Are you on mushrooms when you come up with these tattoo ideas, or is that just your artist that's, you know?
I mean, I come up with the idea. Now I've never taken
or in
are you asking induced? Siri?
Is that ChatGPT, like, you know, using the AI function?
Yeah. No, you just ask AI to come up with tattoo ideas. That's what it pops out.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that right now.
I know.
And the next time I go to Brevard, I'm like 60-40 on going and getting a tattoo with you.
Well, don't get one in Brevard. The tattoo places here suck.
Wait, where do you get yours?
Shots fired.
Over to Asheville.
Okay, well like wherever you get your tattoos, we'll go and get a tattoo together. There's nothing that would bond us more. We'll be ink brothers.
Sick. Should we walk into the shop holding hands too?
That's maybe what you could get. You could get some type of matching design on the outside of your respective thighs, like outside of your right thigh, outside of your left thigh. So when you put them together, they form a really sick,
like a couple tattoo.
Like
okay, yeah. I actually know what we're gonna get. Are you guys ready for this? All right, this is not going to be great for the listeners, but if you're watching on YouTube, look at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Dylan, ChatGPT says you should get a cosmic tiger next.
Dude, that actually make me sick. That sounds cool.
That's actually so on brand for what I've got already going on. So yeah,
I know. I like typed in some descriptors of what you already have, and it's a cosmic tiger.
Oh, okay, cool.
Shark bear.
Oh yeah, you don't have a tiger, do you?
Not yet, dude. Just wait until you come. We're both getting tigers. Yeah. Dude, Drew, you back to training?
Yeah. Why? You've been looking at my Strava? You getting scared?
I don't look at your Strava.
Okay.
No, I haven't like really gotten back to training yet, so I'm just scoping out the competition, you know?
Well, I'm not like training, like I'm not doing intervals. I'm just I'm doing a lot of running and a lot of gym and just endurance rides.
Okay. Nice.
So
but I am racing this weekend.
What are you racing? The turkey trot?
Mexico.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, come on. You didn't listen to me at all.
I heard you, and I said he brings up good points, and then I said, but it seems like a fun thing to do, and so I'm doing it. And I'll probably hopefully win money.
Okay, what's your training leading up to this weekend?
I've been riding for 2 weeks. I've done about 20 hours of training, but that includes running and gym. I've done one 5-hour ride, but I've done a handful of 4-hour rides, and that's it.
20 hours in 2 weeks or 20 hours in 1 week?
20 hours in both of the last 2 weeks.
Okay, 40 hours total.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. You put in 2 20-hour weeks.
Yeah, I know, man, it's crazy. Like now I've
15 is gym work.
Now I'm actually like, it's not even it's like the off season, and I'm training better than I was during the season. It's crazy. What the heck?
Well, it's because you took 2 weeks off and you were finally rested.
I don't know. I've just had.
That's ironic coming from you.
If you did 2 20-hour weeks in a row, you might do okay at Mexico, I will say.
Yeah, I feel okay.
Didn't you get third or fourth there last year?
Third. I was close to winning. I was off the front with like, I think 5 miles to go, and then they caught me on the last climb.
Who's
And at the
gonna
top
be
of
there?
that climb, after that climb, it would have been all
Dude,
downhill.
we had an hour and a half episode about this last year, so
Oh yeah, that's right.
Go back and listen to that.
We
if they really
interviewed
wanna hear
Adam. Stetna's definitely not going, and he got second last year. And Adam is still unconfirmed. I've like texted him. He'll text me once a week, and he'll be like, "So you going?" And I'm like, I've told him 3 times, yes, I'm going. And so this Saturday, he was messaging me. He's like, "What's your flight?" And I told him my flight info. He's like, "Oh, okay, I've found your flight." And then I've not. And then I said, "So did you book your flight?" And then he hasn't responded. And I'm like, and the promoter just asked, or I just talked to him yesterday, and the promoter of the race was like, "Yeah, we don't know if he's coming or not." He still hasn't confirmed if he's booked his flight, but it sounds like he's going. He just hasn't like said, "Okay."
Is no one else going? I mean, why is there so much spotlight on?
I think because Adam Roberge won last year, and I was third. And I think everybody else are like locals or at least Mexican. I don't know. I mean, Mexico is a pretty big country, so I don't think I can say local.
Sure.
And that includes all of Mexico. So
domestic riders.
There's like 1 or 2 guys. I think there's one guy that used to be like a Conti pro on the road who's going to be there, who lives in Mexico.
Dude, what do you think about BWR's quadruple, triple crown next year?
Yeah, I heard you guys talking about it a few weeks ago. It's a little frustrating. I wish there would be a little bit more consistency. I mean, from a business perspective, we've even talked about this, is like the sooner you can have your race in the year, the better the numbers are probably going to be, because like everybody wants to go to the first race. Like the Mid-South is always a huge turnout because it's one of the first races. So if I was going to put on an event or a series, doing it in the spring makes more sense from a numbers perspective. But I like it better when the races are spread out throughout the whole season, because I enjoy the BWR race formats better than, the other ones that are out there. And so this year I did the triple BWR in the spring, and I haven't done a BWR since then.
Okay, forget about the competition. Do you prefer BWR races or lifetime Grand Prix races?
I literally just answered that.
You said other. You didn't specify. You just said other.
My favorite style of races so far are the BWR races, where it's like it's gravel, but there's technical sections involved with it. Like the lifetime gravel races don't have any, gnarly technical sections thrown in there. It's usually just all gravel. And then the mountain bike races also don't have any really gnarly technical sections either. And so the BWR races are actually fun because you're like, the tire choice is usually like harder to decipher, like what tires to run. And you actually have to have some decent off-road skills. And that can be an asset. Like if I go into certain trail sections at BWR Utah or Cali, I can actually that can change the outcome of the race.
Yeah, like you could go out and just do a training ride on the BWR courses, and it'd be a fun route.
Mm-hmm.
Except for California.
No, I mean even that, like a fun training ride. I mean,
yeah,
more fun than just doing a big road loop, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm excited to see that they're changing the course completely for California. Was never a fan of that course.
You guys said that, and I don't think it's in almost the same spot. It's like in the city right next to where it normally starts.
Okay.
So it's
Their post said
unclear.
It was like a whole new course.
A whole new venue. It's unclear whether or not it's a whole new course. Definitely a different start line and finish line, but I have a feeling that most of the course will probably be the same, or at least similar.
Well, guess we spit some fake news last week then.
Well, I mean, they haven't announced the route, so you guys could be right, but the way that I took it was they had to get a different venue, but I feel like that course is already, they already get a ton of people that go to that race. Even though Dillman craps on it, a lot of people do like that race and that course. So why change it? Why change something if it's not broken?
I know it's the most competitive BWR race by far. Like it's not even close.
So then don't change the course. Like if that course already draws in that many people, then don't change it.
do you think it's the course that's doing that, or you think it's like that one also has the best prize money? And it's also like, for example, I don't think
Mexico has.
Really?
I think they're the same.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure Mexico and Cali have the same amount of prize money.
But Cali has
it's got the prestige, though. It's been around for like 15 years.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's got the same thing that Leadville and Unbound has. It's been around longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
what if they change the Leadville course? They're like, oh, actually, we're going to move Leadville to somewhere else.
Well, nobody thinks the Leadville course is good either.
Yeah, but at this point,
it's iconic, though.
It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I know
like,
BWR
could you imagine if they
iconic,
switched it up and like you didn't have power line at 80 miles or column?
Yeah, I know. I agree. They should not do anything to the Leadville course. Like they need to keep it. I'm in agreement, but at the same time, BWR Cali, it's not like they do the exact same course every year, so people can compare times from year to year. Because like I think that's the main reason why they shouldn't make any changes to Leadville.
Mm-hmm.
And I already think that it's egregious that they made small changes here and there, because then like if you're trying to, for example, 2016 was a record, or 2015 was a record breaking year, but the course was slightly different. So now you got to like, so then when people get close to that time, they got to be like, well, like the course was a minute slower, a minute faster back then. It's like, no, just keep it the same.
Keegan's record is totally doesn't count. It's a different course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just scratch it from the record book.
Yeah, I know, man. Plus he cheated.
Yeah, he definitely cheated. We don't know how, but somehow he cheated.
Talk about spreading fake news, huh?
Yeah.
What this podcast is about.
Man, Tyler, you're looking so cerebral today. I know we already brought that up at the beginning, but the no hat Tyler look.
You're talking about because his head is almost transparent. You can just like see straight into his brain.
See all the wheels, the hamster wheel.
Have you guys, yeah. Tyler, have you announced the big news of your 2025 campaign?
No, just to you.
Ooh, we're going to break it here?
I guess so.
We can get Dizzle's reaction.
Dizzle already knows, but I'm gonna best his time in the Mid-South Double, assuming that I get
Good luck. I bet I've already done more running than you have, and I'm not even training for that race. I did an 8-mile run yesterday. What you up to, Baldy?
Wow, look at you, big boy miles.
Damn,
yeah, like 11-minute pace.
Nah, 7 minute, 7:15, which was my average during the double.
How much did you walk during that?
None.
Yeah, you're right. You're just such a talented athlete. I don't think I could ever compete against you.
Accurate. I am probably more talented than you, at least.
Dude, I was trying to. Dizzle and I actually had a conversation, like a serious conversation about this on the phone yesterday. Like
yesterday?
Not no.
Last week.
Like last week.
Yeah, he had to like really speak some truth into my life. He did. Well, after that phone call, it like it changed my. That was like a part of the man. I need to be more grateful.
Wow, that was it. That was the phone call that did it.
Let's hear it. What was this phone call about?
I was just Dizzle's always getting down on himself because he's like not talented and like he's mid pack at a Lifetime Grand Prix race and whatever and this and that, and he's like, oh dude, like I'll never beat Keegan or whatever. Not even Keegan.
No shit, Sherlock.
Or he's like, not even Keegan. It could be like it could be like Russell Finsterwald, and he's like, oh dude,
Russell's going down this year.
I'll just let Russell Finsterwald beat me in a sprint finish because like I don't even deserve to ever be close to that guy. Like he's always getting down on himself ever since he measured his VO2 max. And I'm like, look, man, I think you need some perspective here. Like for you to be in the position that you're in, you are so extremely lucky to have been given the genetics that you have. Like to be in the top 30 of a Lifetime Grand Prix race means that you're probably in the top, at least the top 5%, if not probably top 2 or 1% of genetics for endurance sports.
Yep. That's, I mean, yeah. So I'm grateful. I should just be great. I should just not be. I need to stop being a turd, and I need to be grateful for what I have. General.
Or you just need to be more strategic, dude. Like you have to remember that the guys that are winning the biggest races are in the top 0.5%. So you need to go to those sub tier races where the top 0.5% aren't going to, Mexico. And just poach all of them, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm already down. Yep. I'm already on it this weekend.
I think it's a good strategy.
You know what somebody told me yesterday? I'd never heard this before. And it would make a good tattoo. You got to train insane or remain the same.
That's pretty tattoo.
Grace at the bicycle station hit me with that in the middle of our training ride. And I was like, dang, we should ride longer now. Like we got to do an extra 2 hours because you just said that.
I would argue that like the middle of November is not the time of year to have that mindset, but okay.
Yeah, because you're training normal and remaining normal. I'm training insane, and I'm not staying the same.
All right, what's your insane winter training look like?
Oh, I don't know. I do.
I don't know.
Week by week, but hopefully just more
week by week. I don't know.
More volume than before.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's like not far off of my plan either.
Yep, that's the plan.
Sick.
Volume.
Very detailed.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget to sign up at Ignition Coach Co. for some loose training plans.
He who rides more will be stronger.
Yeah, one of Drew's athletes is going to sign into Training Peaks and it's just going to say more volume.
More volume this week than you did last week.
It's just going to say train insane.
Train insane.
Hashtag beast mode.
Does that mean you're starting your TikTok influencer trend now? Or like that's the phase of life you're in?
What does that mean?
I mean, you're just going to start doing train insane stuff and you're going to be running with like a 30-pound weight vest on and start your bow hunting phase.
I already do that.
Yeah, dude, you just got to get on TikTok.
And I can confirm that training 2 hours a week will detrain the shit out of you.
Because your blood volume goes down?
I don't even know if I have any blood left in my body.
I want to make the argument that people who run up mountains with like a giant sack of heavy shit are not training. Are not there, dude. Those people are not training insane. Those people are like whopping little pussies. Let me explain this. Like, dude, if you, first of all, like it's not specific towards anything. Like to me, training insane is like doing a 35-hour week. And then if you're doing extraneous things like running up a mountain with a heavy pack or like doing some weird gym routine that no one's ever seen, or like, I don't know, like doing 10 push-ups after a mile of running and then running another mile and then doing another set of push-ups or something, like anything within that realm, then you're not training insane. You're just an average
doing CrossFit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're just an average joker trying to like throw. It's honestly like those Zwift training plans that are like, here's a minute at threshold and then 30 seconds at zone 2 and then 40 seconds at zone 6 and then let's do 3 30-30s and then let's go into a tempo. It's just like just throwing shit at the wall, trying to randomly figure shit out. That's exactly how I see that sort of training. I mean, I get that people who are doing that are like not necessarily serious cyclists, but in my mind, I'm like, that's not training.
So what you're saying is they need to trade that giant sack in for a long dong stem and get after it?
Yeah, dude. Longest dong of a stem and get aero AF and ride 30 hours a week.
Bro, I just ordered. Never mind. I just ordered me a
big sack
stem, dude.
Oh,
but gotcha. I'm not gonna say because I want to post a picture of it. It's gonna be funny.
Also,
we're talking like 200s.
No, dude.
I think the longest stem I've seen like someone actually ride is 180.
Dude, I also have a friend who, like a good friend of mine who used to be like really fit and I could ride with him. I still ride with him occasionally. And now he's like Mr. Ice Bath and let me run up the mountain with a heavy sack guy. And he's so much fatter and slower than he used to. Which is also why I have this like bias against like run up a mountain with a heavy sack people.
But is he happier though?
I don't know. I'm not him. I can't tell you.
You got to ask him.
Is he happier? I mean, how can you be happy if you're slow, you know?
If being fast means nothing to him, like if he's not racing bikes.
Yeah. No. All jokes aside, he used to race bikes and be fast, and now he doesn't care about racing bikes. So he's running up a mountain with a heavy sack, enjoying his life, being happy.
Is his sack heavier now that he's doing more sack running?
Well, he as a person is certainly heavier, not in a good way. Like, yeah.
Cool.
So,
we got any other news we want to talk about? Not that we talked about anything news related, but
yeah. Is there any news? Tadej Pogacar just signed like 50 million. What is this?
It's an alligator pirate tattoo. Oh, combine an alligator and a pirate. That'd be sick.
Is that Gaelic or what is that?
What's Gaelic mean?
Gaelic is a language.
That's just some made up AI language.
I'm sure it's not made up. I'm sure it's an actual language.
You've never messed around with AI? They just put random like shapes and symbols on things.
No,
that is 100%.
That means something.
Nah, there's literally some English in there, and there's some Greek, and there's
just type in right now. Type in translate this for me.
Because I know the answer. The answer is this is some made up AI language.
No, dude. You're generalizing the fact that this is probably.
This look. Now, you've never played around with
Adam,
AI
you're getting
images.
way too bogged down in the details.
I'm telling you, look at right here. It says Plaga Blagadora. Because it's just some made up AI language.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty dope. Like, I'll probably get that on my calf next week.
Yeah. A tattoo of a pirate alligator.
Why don't you get it in your chest, dude?
Be sick.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. How do you think I came up with the idea of a sharktopus?
That one's pretty cool. I was trying to get AI to create some kind of like an alligator that's part alligator, part sword, because I want a sword tattoo. So I was like, well, what kind of animal that kind of looks like a sword?
Okay, so an
alligator kind of looks like a sword.
You copied my YouTube channel and now you're trying to copy my tattoos? What's the deal? What's the deal here?
I just thought it'd be funny. I'm not going to, no way would I actually get a stupid tattoo, but a sword tattoo is what I would get. And I was like, oh, how could I spin this to make it look like a Dillman tattoo?
So you're actually going to get a sword that's combination of something else? That's copying.
No, I want just a sword tattoo on my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like a giant sword down the side of my arm. That'd be sick. And I could pretend that my arm is a sword.
The only thing I don't like about it is like if it actually extended past your elbow, you'd have like a soft, flexible sword, which isn't cool anymore.
Nah, it would go from my elbow to my wrist.
Okay, that's cool.
All on the outside of my arm, so that when I'm riding my bike, you could see it.
Yeah, and then
it looks sick in tattoos.
Oh, you do ride locked out, so that makes sense.
Locked out elbows.
Yeah, you could definitely have it go your whole arm then.
I was gonna say when you're in the arrow position, it could look like you're jousting somebody, but you're never. Your forearms are never that parallel with the ground. So,
bro, I was more arrow than you at Big Sugar, dude. Went faster, less power.
No, dude. I think we concluded that you just did no work.
And you were just so quick to jump on the front of every group.
Doesn't matter.
Trying to make friends?
Less power, faster time.
Wait, I mean, your elbows were still locked, though.
No, they weren't.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
We'll go search through the photos.
Yeah, let me go find a photo.
See what we can find.
Prove to you that I am arrow.
Find a photo.
Freaking arrow, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, what I was gonna say is, like, this is kind of related to Wout being signed to Jumbo for like what the remainder of his life.
Yeah, his whole career.
So, and then also Tade just signed like a $50 million deal, and there's like a $200 million buyout. Like, if you want to buy Tade out of his UAE deal, you need to like cough over $200 million or something like that.
Some change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure like Vanderpool's Canyon deal too, right? What was his deal with Canyon? Like 10 years or something like that?
Is it 10 years?
It was something ridiculous. I'll fact check myself here since we don't podcast.
Dude, it doesn't matter.
I mean,
just
all these
spit
guys
some
are
random
signing
shit. No one's gonna fact check us.
You're right. No one told us that England was a part of the continent of Europe, but not part of the European Union. That's not a thing.
I don't even know why we started the podcast with that. That was
Dude, last month, talking October, we had over 1 million minutes watched on our YouTube channel.
Is that good?
No way.
I don't know. It seems cool. I'm just gonna
In 1 month?
1-1.
Dang, I only have like 1.5 million total.
Ever?
Ever.
Damn, dude.
Dang.
How many of those are you watching your own videos?
Probably like,
Dang, you guys are making me want to look up what mine is now. Hold on.
nah, Dylan, we don't need to. Yeah.
No. We
don't need to do this.
Yeah, Vanderpool at the age of 29 signed a 10-year deal with Canyon. Now that's like just his affiliation
at the
with
age of 29.
brand. Yeah.
So that's going to go for it the rest of his career.
Yeah.
Dude, these like super long-term deals are starting to become the norm now.
Yeah, I mean, you have like young guys like Isak Del Toro signing like 5-year deals, right? When they sign with UAE, and got to lock up that young talent when it comes around.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, it'd suck if they broke their leg this year.
Dude,
and then they have to still get paid. They could or they could just get lazy, or they could literally just get lazy.
Yeah, dude, they could.
I wonder if there's any kind of stipulation of like, if your training drops under 30 hours a week, you're out of here. You are out of here. You don't get this.
Well, imagine if somebody like Egan Bernal had signed a 10-year deal with Ineos for like $5 million a year. So like 50 million total. And he signed that deal. Like, he won the tour at like, what, 20 years old or 21 years old? Anybody when he won the tour, when he was 20 or 21, I forget how old he was, would have been justified in thinking, oh, dude, this guy is going to go on to win like 8 more tours, right? Because he's so young and he's already so good. And that would have been such a losing bet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's still a good rider, no doubt. But
Tade's how old right now? 25?
25, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he's like matured into his potential already, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, it's not as risky of a thing now.
Yeah. I guess I'm just throwing out like a hypothetical how this could go wrong scenario.
It's not a hypothetical. It's Israel Premier Techs. Every Israel Premier Tech signing for the last like 5 years.
Yeah,
like they
mainly
just signed.
Like,
they signed up Chris Froome.
He's the only one I can think of.
Andre Greipel.
Andre Greipel.
Like, Israel Premier Tech is like, let's take every rider that was strong 5 years ago and sign them.
You know what?
It's like
you know what?
Step down. It's like the step down from the Lifetime Grand Prix. It's like Pro Road Career, Israel Premier Tech, Lifetime Grand Prix.
Yeah.
You know what is like the flip side of this is like totally justified is like removing Mark Cavendish from your payroll, but I wonder if Quick-Step regrets doing that, because and like Astana, was it Astana, the team that he was on this year, like picked him up and he wins that historic stage. I wonder if Quick-Step was like, dang, that could have been us.
Well, here's the thing about Cav's contract is he probably had most of his salary covered by his sponsors like Oakley or other brands that are supporting him. So it's like Quick-Step picked him up because he was almost out of the sport a couple years ago. But
well, then that
Quick-Step
makes it
picked him
even
up.
worse because then Quick-Step wouldn't even have had to pay him that much, and they could have had him with that historic win. Like I'm saying, this year when he won that stage at the tour and made history, he did that in a Astana jersey, and he could have done it in a Quick-Step jersey if Quick-Step had kept him on their roster. And I wonder if they're thinking like, and what did Quick-Step do this year? I don't know, nothing. They could have done that. They could have.
They have Remco.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot.
This was
they could have had Remco and Cavendish. It would have been sick.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like most of the big things that Remco did this year were not in the Quick-Step colors. Yeah. Like he won both Olympic races and then the World Championship time trials. All three of those were probably his three biggest results of the year. Well, other than Vuelta, right?
I can't remember if he won the Vuelta or the Giro this year.
I thought it was a Giro.
No.
Pogacar won
Giro.
Giro. Yeah,
who won Vuelta? Why am I blanking on who won Vuelta?
Rutledge.
Oh yeah. Rutledge.
I don't know.
The AI.
When I read his name and then I hear people pronounce it, it doesn't add up. But I don't know.
How do you pronounce Tadej Pogacar?
Roglic, isn't it? Roglic?
Yes, it is.
Tadej Pogacar.
Okay. Nice.
Some people say Pogacar.
Yeah. I feel like people have stopped doing that, but remember when all the American commentators were like, there goes Tadej Pogacar. Like he's a Pokemon.
When you're dropping somebody, you gotta drop them and then you say you just got Pogachared. Oh, like you got burnt, charred. You get it?
We got it, dude.
We're aware.
Thanks. It's way funnier with the other.
How did we start talking about this again?
Long-term deals, and then Drew started talking about Cavendish.
You know, ADHD. Right. I'm all over the place.
Yeah, we're aware. Where should we go now, Drew? Where should you take us now?
I don't know.
Drew's magical ride.
I feel like 3 weeks ago we said this was going to be the listener question episode.
I got some queued up.
Yeah,
let's go.
All right, well, throw them at us, dude.
All right,
we need to get a guest. What happened to Keegan coming on, man? Like, I gotta tie that up. How about this? Y'all pay me $500 and I'll get Keegan on next week.
Dude, I'll get him on.
Why do we have to pay you $500?
I don't know. I want $500
because he's going to take that $500 and give it to Keegan.
Yeah. Why can't we start paying ourselves? We don't make any money. We make money, but we don't make money. How's this?
Because you guys keep bashing any potential sponsor that we could have for this podcast.
Dude, should we bash a sponsor real quick?
Tyler, I just forwarded you a potential sponsor.
Oh, sick. Is it a razor company?
We don't need more potential sponsors. We need legit sponsors.
Okay, they're a legit sponsor that wants to sponsor us for 2025.
Is the only sponsor that we have right now SILCA?
What do you
you can only make
CYCLIST?
You can only make so much money off of commissions, off of wax.
Dude, we make buku dollars off that. They got way more stuff than wax, man.
If we're making buku's money, where's my $500?
All right, well, let's do an ad read for SILCA real quick. Drew, what do you like about SILCA?
You're a recurring guest, Dizzle. You're not in on the cut.
When you guys were talking about changing the time, I was like, they could totally just not tell me the new time, and then I would just not be on the podcast ever again. They could just not tell me the new time.
That would be such a polarizing move. We'd get some people that sent us hate mail for kicking you off, and then some people that sent us a lot of praise.
Well, we wouldn't have to say we kicked him off. We could just say we changed the times and he never showed up.
Dude, you know what's an underrated product that SILCA sells?
What?
They're Aero socks.
The red ones?
You probably can't talk about it because they're not Rule 28, whatever, but they are pretty slick looking.
I do have a couple of pairs. They're nice. I don't know if they make me faster, but
you're supposed to say that, Tyler. You're supposed to say they make you faster. You can feel the difference.
They have so many
it's
like
hard
dope colors.
It's hard to differentiate from this silky smooth head that I have. That's also waxed with SILCA. The drip wax, not the. I don't stick my head in the Crockpotanator. I just put the drip wax on top and then just like buff that out after some of the bike cleaner, paraffin or whatever wax it is.
Tyler, are you a black sock, black shoe kind of guy, or are you a white sock, white shoe? Or you go for colors?
White sock, white shoe. Yeah, white socks are are the move.
They have these pro white socks that are sick.
Yeah.
They're not all white because they got some like colors on them, but I think they're pretty cool.
I thought they were all white.
They have some all white ones.
They do have some all white ones. They're called Snow White, I think.
Yeah. I wore those.
Oh, no. I'm looking at all the colored ones. Let's see. The all white ones are just their standard Aero socks. And they make them a tall version. Dude, those things probably go up to your knees.
Adam Robert style sock.
Yeah.
God, he looks like a triathlete with those things on. Embarrassing.
I think I sent you guys the question of when to change how do you know your wax chain is used up?
Yeah, did you?
And then Tyler got
on there?
way too nerdy about it. I mean, I just re-wax whenever it's a race.
I know my dilemma is I only have one quick link, so I don't want to like have to
I thought you were the homie that said you bought 100 off of eBay or something or AliExpress. You already went through 100.
I can't get these quick links off eBay.
Well, then just pony up a little more money and get some more quick links, bro.
No. They don't make these ones.
Well,
I'm using.
Then throw the chain away.
Dude, you shouldn't be buying AliExpress quick links in the first place.
Just get a new chain that you can use different quick links on.
They don't make this chain in a readily available location.
Why are you using it? Yeah, why are you using it?
It's prototype, bro.
A prototype chain.
Yeah.
Are you not allowed to talk about this right now?
Why do you think I'm trying to not talk about it? That's why I was asking.
Dude. Spill the beans.
I've already like broken the chain or the quick link twice.
Is it SRAM's 14 speed?
I've waxed it 3 times already.
You've broken it 3 times. Hopefully you're telling them that. Yeah. This thing needs to. Okay. Need to go back to some R&D here. This thing sucks.
But yeah, no, I think I'm just going to end up putting some of the drip lube on there. Do I have to?
Yeah, dude, just do that. You don't have to.
If I use the drip lube and I use the correct one, the wax one, then I don't have to
clean it,
strip it, right?
No. Cool. It's basically like you're waxing it, but you're not putting it in the pot. You're just putting the wax on it. You have to do it the day before, though. That's the problem, dude.
Don't do it.
I never think about it until I'm like 5 minutes into my ride, and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to.
If you do it right before your ride, you're pretty much just wasting your wax.
Yeah.
It does sound quieter,
that's the SILCA super secret chain lube, right?
Yep.
Dude, why don't you just like switch to belt drive so you never have to think about this again?
That would be dope. I would need one of those like gearbox drivetrains. Or just run single speed.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, just run single speed.
I am in the process of converting my Mosaic to single speed.
Yeah, dude. See?
I can't run belt drive though, because it doesn't have I can't break chainstay.
Sure you can. You can just like saw it in half and re-weld it.
I could do that, I guess.
It's a titanium bike, man. You can do that.
Yeah, you can.
Should I do single speed cross nats? I was looking at it this morning.
Do you have a single speed bike?
No, but it's not that hard to do one, is it?
It's not that hard to do. Like,
Dizzle, how many times do I have to explain this to you? Like, don't do races in the off season.
Yeah, but obviously I'm not listening to you.
Yeah, but that obviously didn't work for him last year. Dude, you should just do all the races in the off season and see what happens.
What do you mean? He did BWR Mexico and cross nats last year in the off season.
No, that wasn't my off season last year. I didn't start my off season until after cross nats last year.
Yeah, see, bad call.
But that's not what I'm doing this year. I already did my off season, and I'm kind of, now I'm back into just starting to train. What's one 40-minute effort gonna do? You're saying that's gonna derail my entire off season training? A 40-minute effort on a single speed bike?
Like, it's not. Are you gonna train specifically for this, or
no,
is this just like
it's single speed cyclocross nats? I would jump in for fun.
All right. I mean, sure, I guess.
Am I training specifically for BWR Mexico this weekend? No, I'm just doing exactly what I would have done if I was training regardless of the race.
Yeah. No, we had this whole conversation when you guys were trying to convince me to do Iceman on no training. I just hate doing races when I'm not in race shape.
Are you ever in race shape?
You should have seen me this year, man. Other than Big Sugar.
What if you just train all year for Iceman?
Dude, good idea. Probably be way more fun.
If the only race you did moderately well at next year was Iceman and you won Iceman and you sucked everywhere else, how sick would that
would not be a good year. If I sucked everywhere except for Iceman, I'd be so popular in Michigan and everybody else would be like, dude, I'd be like the king of Michigan, and everywhere else in the world, they'd be like, Dylan, you suck.
You'd be a hero.
Dude, Traverse City would probably give you like the keys to the city.
Yeah, but you're not a king anywhere right now, so at least you'd be a king somewhere then.
Exactly.
Gordon Wakely would thank you personally. Right? He'd write you a card.
He'd probably be pissed, man. He's working.
Yeah, why would he be happy?
Yeah.
Tears would be in his eyes. He'd be so happy that he had somebody else to take over for a year as the king of Michigan.
All right. Well,
they do love him. Like all of Michigan loves Jordan Wakely.
I mean, do you want to call anybody an idiot this episode, or are you going to save that for next week?
Nobody's earned it this week.
Okay.
And I'm not saying that word anymore. They're all doofuses now.
That's not better. That's worse.
Nah, idiots mean doofus is has a playful twinge to it. You know, like, you doofus. You doofus, you.
Yeah, but you don't say it like that. You're like,
yeah.
You say it very aggressively and angrily.
But this is the new attitude of gratitude, Dizzle. So nobody's an idiot except for vegan cyclists.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, Grazy from Switzerland says, love the podcast, especially the Dizzle. I am getting a gravel
not an
bike.
Idiot. She's not an idiot.
They are not. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but anyways, I'm getting a new gravel bike, and I want it to double as a road bike. They're getting the Arc 8 Aero. Arc 8. Their mountain bike's actually pretty sick looking.
Is this a Bianchi?
No, Arc 8 is a European brand.
Oh.
What group set should I get? It has to be 2x and electronic. Shimano seems like the safe group set to go with, but I do like some of the things that SRAM offers. All I have heard is how the brakes on SRAM are crap and the shifting is not as good. I do like the external batteries. All right, well, if the brakes are bad and the shifting sucks, that's kind of like everything, right? So,
yeah.
I think it's a bit like the European market, like Shimano has the European market cornered. So they're just like, every bike that I've ever seen, except for a Trek Balwaza bike, is Shimano.
So, guys, you guys know that I've been a Shimano fanboy for like gravel and road for basically as long as this podcast has been going on. Like, I'm all about Shimano 2x if it's a gravel or a road bike.
Yep.
I am seriously considering going to SRAM next year.
Boom. Let's go.
Wow.
Is that because you want the 1x setup so you can fit bigger tires, or you just know that it's superior?
What are you going to run the double tap system?
I've actually had a number of I've actually had a number of like issues with Shimano this year that I think are like completely unacceptable. So first of all, I've had the battery completely die on me twice.
Are you about to list off all the reasons you don't like Shimano?
Is that bad?
I mean, you had said. It's just. I thought you were just going to leave it at. I've had a lot of reasons.
No, dude. Let's hear it all.
Go ahead. Your battery died.
I didn't know you were gonna list them all off.
I can't list well, there's not that many reasons. It's only going to take like a minute.
Okay. 1 hour later.
No, dude. It's just like, okay, I've had the battery die on me twice. One of them was like
die because you didn't charge it, or die because it like
no, obviously like.
Like it's dead.
If I didn't charge it, that's on me. Like the battery is just dead and you try to charge it, it doesn't charge. It's just dead.
Okay.
And then when that happens, it's not like SRAM where you can just like take it out real quick, put a new one in real quick. Like it's super easy. It's like it's in the freaking seat tube and it's a huge hassle. And so that's happened twice. Also with my particular setup, for whatever reason, like I don't drop a chain often, but for example, like when I dropped the chain at the Rad, that was like that was like a race ending chain drop. So I don't know. I'm like, I'm kind of over it.
That's on a 2x?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could drop your chain on a 2x with SRAM too.
Well, I think
saying you would switch to SRAM 1x.
If I go SRAM, I would definitely do 1x.
Yeah.
Do 1x with the chain guard, yeah. And it's like,
Would
you do the new SRAM Red Explorer, the 13-speed?
What's he gonna get? What's he gonna get? The Apex? Yeah, he's gonna get the SRAM Red.
No, he's talking about or getting like transmission so you can have the bigger cassette.
Well, you can either get the 13 speed that has less gear range, or you can do like the mullet setup that's got the mountain bike cassette. I would need to do some calculations with the gear range and see if I have enough gear range with the 13 speed cassette.
Quick aside on that note, I did see one of the updated GX derailleurs this last weekend, and like they basically moved the battery from the back to the top of the derailleur.
Yeah.
So
that's the same as with the SRAM Red.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Maybe these issues would be solved because I still have the 11 speed Shimano. Maybe if I had the 12 speed Shimano, all the issues would be solved. I don't know. But like, just as an example, so this past week I flew to London, and the very first thing that we were doing in London was doing wind tunnel testing. And so I built the bike, but I hadn't ridden the bike. We showed up at the wind tunnel and my shifting wasn't working. And I was like, dude, I charged this before I left, so I know that it's the battery. And then they're like, oh no, like, let's just charge it real quick. Charging it didn't work, like couldn't change gears. And it didn't matter that much for the wind tunnel segment, but then we also did the pedaling efficiency rig. And fortunately, it was in a gear that was good enough for the pedaling efficiency rig. Like, actually, to be honest, I was doing, I think, 90 RPM with the gear that I was in, which is perfect. Like 90 RPM is normal. But if it had just so happened to be in a different gear, it's like, dude, it would have wasted all that time and money. And then I just like showed up to the wind tunnel with a bike that doesn't, like, it's just, I don't know, like unacceptable errors.
Yeah, dude, dump that shit in the trash.
Yeah.
Garbage. Or sell it to somebody in like new condition, whichever one. So I've had, like, you are right about the battery dying is really frustrating. The nice thing about SRAM is, you can just rock up to any convenience store or gas station or whatever that has batteries and just buy a 2032. My question is, how do you, Adam, keep up with when the battery needs to change? Is that something I've run
on
into?
The shifters?
Yeah, like the shifter batteries.
I mean, you can, if you connect it to the Axis app, then it'll tell you how much battery life is left.
You just check
I just don't do that regularly.
Like, check that. I don't either. Just do it once a year or whatever.
Once a year, yeah.
You just check it to make sure it's like got some life in it. And you're like, oh, okay, it's half there.
And
check
also
it again in 3 months.
Like you just said, it's a $2 battery. So just like before every big race, change it out.
I just do it at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I've never had a shifter battery die.
I did like a couple months ago, but it was fine because you just ride to CVS or Walgreens or whatever and buy the wrong battery and then go back in and buy the right battery and then change it in the parking. So it's
or you just take the one like out of your power meter and put it in there.
Dude, no, how would I do that? Then I'm not getting any power. How will I know if I'm doing it right?
How will get that power boost?
Exactly.
I don't know. I personally think the new SRAM Red Explorer 13 speed is like pretty hard to top for a gravel group set.
You need UDH for that though, right?
Yeah, you do. Okay. Does your bike not have UDH?
No, not just right now.
Drill, baby, drill.
Wow, throw that in the trash.
Yep, time for a new bike. Time for a new bike.
Yeah, so you couldn't even put transmission on your bike, man. What a
bro! State's dropping
clunker,
a gravel bike
dude.
Next year. That's going to be UDH.
All right,
you can just get you one of them.
Never heard of it. So this person's question was about what to run.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were answering a person's question.
Yeah, so they're specifically talking about they want a 2x gravel setup, so that way they can have their gravel bike act as a road bike.
If you're going to do a 2x, Shimano, because the SRAM front derailleur just is not great.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of agree.
2x, if you're going to do 2x, do Shimano still, even with my headaches with Shimano this year.
But you could do 1x, and it'll be. I don't know why this person is saying they have to do a 2x. Just do the SRAM 1x. It's fine.
It could be where they live and just how much climbing they have.
But there's ways to do that, like with 1x. You know.
Yeah, but like then the gaps between the gears are really.
Then
big.
you don't have to shift as often. It's awesome.
If you're concerned about the gaps because it's going to take away from your road riding experience, then you just need a road bike. Like, don't ride your gravel bike on the road.
Mm-hmm.
The downside, so like the question, there was a comment about the brakes, and I feel like I heard that when I first started riding bikes, mostly on mountain bikes, people would just totally shit on Avid brakes, but I had Avid brakes and never had an issue.
Yeah, they're disc brakes. Like they're going to be fine.
I've never had an issue with. The one downside though is I guess it's not technically a downside, but like the dot fluid
is corrosive.
You
gotta be careful with that stuff.
You can get it at an auto parts store, I guess.
I was gonna say you can get that at wherever. Yeah. Stop at CVS to pick up your battery and stop at AutoZone to pick up some
Swedish. Maybe they have it at IKEA, right? She's from Sweden. Maybe
dude,
IKEA
I had
more stuff there.
I had the new SRAM red levers. I think going to level calipers on my mountain bike, drop bar mountain bike this year, and those brakes are awesome.
They're awesome. Yeah.
Those brakes work really good.
Yeah.
Like I have no complaints with those brakes whatsoever. So
yeah.
Yeah. I think I'd recommend SRAM for sure. But again, it depends. 2x, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think the SRAM. Have you guys used the new? They've redesigned their front derailleur, and it is better. Their old one was just really bad. But I think the new SRAM front derailleur is a lot better than it used to be. But Shimano has like really not perfected, but like has got the 2x dialed, and SRAM really has the 1x dialed. So like,
yeah, and SRAM's got them beat in the wireless compatibility, like the wireless aspect of it.
Everybody who runs Shimano is running the 2x. Like most of the time, they're running 2x.
The other thing too about SRAM 2x is that if you do want to fit a super wide tire on your gravel bike, the SRAM front derailleur takes up more room than the Shimano front derailleur.
That's what I was going to say.
You're more likely to rub the tire on the front derailleur with SRAM
because of the battery.
Yeah, I agree. I was trying to look up. So tire clearance, it says they can fit up to 700 by 50. Dude, yeah, I would definitely not. If you can run that big of a tire, dude, don't run the freaking 2x because that is going to take away from it, dude. They could probably stuff 2 4s in this thing without a front derailleur. Seriously.
No, if they're claiming 700 by 50, like maybe a 2.2 is going to fit, you know? Maybe easily a 2.2 will fit. Easy. Not easily.
My state claims a 50 and it barely fits a 2.2.
You're not doing it right. I'm looking at the pictures on this thing, dude, and it's got fat clearance. Yeah. I would just run the 1x SRAM setup.
Okay, so
I think you're going to be happy.
The final thing that I'll bring up, and this was what has made me stuck with Shimano for so long. This is more important to me than anything related to
drivetrain efficiency.
Yeah, the efficiency of the chain. There's like a 2-watt difference in efficiency between a Shimano Dura-Ace and a SRAM red chain.
Yeah, but when that was tested, wasn't that with the factory grease? And
no,
not using
it
wax
wasn't.
Chain?
How many times have I told you this, dude? It was not. It was with wax on the chain.
Dude, if it's not SILCA wax, I'm not even paying attention, dude. It's not even that speed additive. Doesn't even matter.
No, it was tested with wax on the chain.
Okay. Was it tested with wax and like a bunch of gunk in the chain too? Like it happens in the first 5 miles of Unbound?
Why do you think they would test it like that? No, they didn't test it like
real
that.
World conditions.
Oh, real. Like you're saying that would have made it more accurate as if they put a bunch of gunk in the chain.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't think they did that, but
I did think about that this last week. I was like, there's got to be a point when SRAM comes out with a more efficient chain, or someone like KMC or
dude.
Well, you can run a KMC chain with the SRAM.
Can you
as long as it's not transmission or the new stuff? But if you're just using if you don't have a UDH bike, then all of those drivetrains you can use a KMC train for.
I thought you had to use a flat top chain with the stuff that calls for flat top.
Well, he's not talking. We're talking about 1x, I thought. If it's a 2x, no, you can't use a KMT chain. I thought we were talking about 1x.
So that's actually specifically why I didn't go transmission on my mountain bike. I went with the normal XX1 Eagle axis so that I could run a KMC chain, which is slightly more efficient.
But is the transmission cassette more efficient?
I don't know. You think it
what
is?
Kind of wax do you put on
I'm
the
just
cassette?
asking.
Like, I honestly don't know why Shimano, first of all, Shimano should be testing this themselves and they should be advertising this to people. Like, no one knows this except for Ceramic Speed. Like,
and you,
this should be like the top thing that Shimano advertises. Our chains are the most efficient chains. And they don't mention it ever. Why are you not mentioning it, Shimano?
Because they have fewer wires now on their group sets.
Yeah. I bet the cables, like the exposed wires, probably contribute more than 2 watt drag.
No, you can fully internally route the cables on.
Not on your bike, dude. Your bike's electrical cables all over the place.
Not on my bike, but like most modern road bikes and even gravel bikes at this point, like you can fully internally route Shimano electric cables.
Maybe they don't know that.
Who's they?
Shimano. They're just afraid of getting shit on for their cables, so they don't even want to bring up the fact that their chain's more efficient.
No, dude. Like, I need to talk to somebody at Shimano.
Or they should just
right now.
spend all of those marketing dollars talking about the 2 watt savings that you can get with their chains and actually make a real mountain bike group set.
Yeah, I will say it's kind
SLX isn't a good group set.
I will say it's like kind of ridiculous that do they even have a Di2? Like, I know they have had a Di2.
Their athletes still use cables.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I'm talking about shift cables here. I'm
talking
about like wire cables.
I know. But they have had a Di2 mountain bike group set in the past. Did they get rid of that?
I think it was only 11 speed. I don't think they ever made it 12 speed, I want to say. Even if they did, it's probably still stuck.
Maybe like the guys who are at Shimano just like fishing more. So like, I bet if we were to
make way more money off of their fishing gear.
their fishing gear is like way more advanced than their bike gear because they're just like, this is way better. We just need to focus on the fishing stuff.
Yeah, dude, we should pivot this podcast to be talking about fishing so we could have some real sponsors.
Fishing and hunting. And we can be sponsored by Shimano.
Shimano is one of the most reputable fishing companies in the industry.
I mean, they're also the most reputable cycling companies in the industry.
Not after this podcast releases. I
trash them. Dude, it's disappointing because I like Shimano so much. But that like battery failure issue is like such a turnoff for me. And then the minor issues with the chain drops, like that's not a huge issue, but it did happen at super inopportune times this year.
I feel like historically Shimano has always been like a leg up on SRAM, but here just in the past few years, SRAM has just like really closed the gap, if not surpassed it.
For sure.
Like when I was getting into cross, it was like every freaking cross race, somebody would just shear off their SRAM shifter. But the good thing about SRAM was like they would just send you a new one the next day, or you could just go to the pits and they'd give you a free one. And Shimano never did anything like that, but Shimano just never broke. So it was like, do you get SRAM because you get all these free replacements, or you get Shimano where you just don't ever need free replacements?
If you're Drew, man, you're taking that free stuff.
Dude, yeah.
Drew's like hitting it.
I just replaced
get a free one.
I just replaced one of my shifters like 2 weeks ago because of some weird thing it was doing. I'm like, I just want a new one. So I took it to the shop and they got me a warranty.
Nice.
Drew, have you ever ridden Shimano? Or have you been on SRAM from day one?
No, I was on Shimano when I was on that team with Amanda Panda. They were Shimano. Mm-hmm. But because Marion is like 5 minutes from the Zip factory / SRAM factory in Indy, basically anybody that goes to Marion gets converted to SRAM pretty quickly.
Yeah, sure.
So that was
next question.
All right, so did we help Grazy out?
Probably not.
All right.
We gave her some
All right, here
things
we
to
go.
think about. There you go.
Here we go. This is a good one. So this is coming off of the episode where Drew was getting really pissed that we were just reading information and not questions.
I knew this.
So this one comes from Mike. It says, not information, just a question. Why is Drew such an asshole? Is it EQ or is he just a fucking idiot?
Dang, I thought we were gonna like monitor these, Adam. That one's kind of mean.
It was funny.
I think
I don't know what EQ means though. What is that?
Emotional.
Dude, we talked about
intelligence.
this. It's emotional intelligence.
Apparently, I don't
okay.
have any of it.
You should take like an emotional intelligence test or something and actually see if it's low. It wouldn't surprise me if it's very low, but
Yeah, I know it is. I don't even have to take the test. I'll tell you right now, it's not. I'll tell you right now, my EQ is super low.
Okay.
If there's one thing that I could make myself better at, it would be like compassion. I suck at that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
we're
funny,
aware.
but kind of not funny.
Yeah. Well, you're working on it.
People
Trying
write
to,
in for
yeah.
serious advice, and you're like, "Wow, you can only ride at 200 watts. You might as well just
Yeah.
give up."
Yeah. I mean, unless your VO2 is like 90 and you're just not tapping into all of that unlocked potential, you should just quit.
Okay, this one comes from Carter, and I'm just going to read it because he's a Nika racer, and I think that's cool. But it's basically the same. We just talked about this, but whatever.
So
Hey,
call me
Bonk
an
Bros.
idiot.
Is
Is he about to call me an idiot too? I'll light you up, Carter. Don't make me come through this mic and bust you.
Dude, Carter's 12 years old, man. You can't say that.
This is the second week in a row Drew's tried to fight somebody. Now it's children.
Did you see that interview of Mike Tyson? And it's like this little girl asking him like, "Oh, Mike Tyson, like, what do you think about your fight?" And he just goes off the rails. And he's like, to this 12-year-old girl, he's like, "We're all gonna die anyway. So what's a legacy mean if we're all just gonna end up in the grave?" And then he looks at this 12-year-old and she's like about to cry. And it's just like, dude, did you forget you were talking to a little kid?
Was that your Mike Tyson's my hero moment?
Did you guys? I didn't watch that fight. Did you guys watch it? I heard it
No,
was
dude,
a scam.
I don't watch fake sports.
So you think it was a scam?
Yeah, 100%.
Why in the world would Jake Paul or Logan Paul? What's his name?
Jake
Logan
Paul.
Who cares?
Jake Paul. Why would he want to fight a geriatric dude anyways? Like, I don't care how good he was 30 years ago. Dude's old.
Dude,
like,
all right. If
you knock him in the head, you might kill him.
If Lance Armstrong heard you talk all the shit about Lance on this podcast and he reached out and said, "Hey, you know what? I'll race you up a hill someday."
No.
Would you do it?
That would just be embarrassing. I would light him up. Like, he's old.
I know, but if Lance Armstrong
Old.
came at you, so this is what happened. Jake Paul basically said the same thing, and Mike Tyson was like, "Nah, dude, I can still knock you out." So if Lance Armstrong said, "No,
All right.
dude, I would totally
Did
light
you
you
see
up
those?
that climb."
So Tyson was the one agging it on.
I
didn't
think
know
it
that.
was coming. No, I mean it was coming from both, but Tyson definitely
And-
all right, so Dizzle.
accepted
Oh,
it
I didn't
and
know that.
pushed it
Videos
back,
of
yeah.
Tyson training? Are you
Yeah, it's
kidding me?
legit, dude.
Yeah,
Nah,
the fact that
I didn't even know about
Jake
it.
Paul won that fight, you cannot look at those videos or watch any Tyson videos and be like, "Oh yeah, Jake Paul is a better boxer." Like, get out of here, dude. That fight is fixed. They both got paid.
Oh yeah.
As
I
a-
didn't watch it, and I didn't see any of that.
I don't
I just
know,
saw
though, like,
all the commercials on
If
Netflix.
it was truly fixed, though, like, wouldn't it be way more hype to have Mike Tyson won?
No.
Yeah, but at
'Cause
some
they
point,
both get
you got to
paid.
keep it within the realm of reality. Like,
Do you guys ever watch did you watch the Pacquiao versus Mayweather fight?
mm-mm.
No.
Okay, so Floyd Mayweather coming into that I don't think he'd never lost a fight or some like ridiculous stat. And then the fight was basically them hugging for 8 rounds. The entire
dude.
night. There was nothing. Maybe they just loved each other. But that fight, like, they both probably walked away from that fight getting ridiculous payday. There was like no boxing that actually happened in that particular fight, and I'm sure.
Wait, so
they
why
watch
did
it.
that happen? Why didn't they fight?
I mean, they
It's
did. They
two
technically
legends.
did fight, but like, Mayweather is probably. I'm speculating in line with this podcast. No real news here or facts.
Yeah, that's okay. Let it
But
just let it roll, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to assume that Mayweather is like, look, I want to maintain this record of never being knocked out or never losing. 49-0. I want to get to 50-0. I'll cut you more money to basically like lose this fight to me in a way. We'll make it look close, but
Tyler, were you not on the pod last week when we were talking about fake racing?
no. And I was listening to it though, and just impressed again that Dizzle didn't call anybody an idiot, but he did threaten to fight multiple people. So
No, I didn't. No.
Back.
Dillman was gonna fight people because Dillman was throwing shade at all the people.
Who was I throwing shade at?
Alexi and Ted King, dude. They're coming after you.
Yeah, I was listening to the fake racing. That is all staged. And there's like
is it still entertaining though?
Yeah, we know that, but the question is like, why does anybody care about that?
I mean, I don't know. Like, why do you go to any live event to just see the thing?
No, the correct answer is yes. I agree with you, Dylan. That's stupid. No one should care about that. Again, why does anyone like when I say this? Why does anybody feel the need to? Do you guys just feel the need to go against me? I mean, that's what Scott said.
I was kind of weirded out because a couple weeks ago, CJ went to a Simone Biles performance, and I was like, "What is Simone Biles gonna perform? She's a gymnastics like person. Is she gonna do gymnastics things for people to watch her?" I'm like, it's kind of weird to just. She's a gymnast, so how do you just perform? And I'm like, well, it's just a thing that they do that people can go and watch Simone Biles and say they watch her do her signature move. But it is kind of, I'm with you on this, Dylan. It's kind of weird to pay money to go do that when Simone Biles isn't doing any competition or anything.
They literally call the floor routine like a performance.
Yeah, I mean, gymnastics is more performative. Like, I wouldn't pay to go watch Vanderpool just ride around a cross course by himself.
That's what they do anyway. That's what he does anyways. He
That is pretty.
He rides by himself. Like, what are you talking about?
Is he doing any cross this year?
TBD. I'm sure he'll show up for the one that's in Spain. That's like 2 minutes from his house, but yeah.
All right. So, anyways, Carter wants to know for his SRAM Axis 12-speed setup.
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
He said I swapped out the XX1 chain and instead got a KMC X12 chain, and I want to know your thoughts on it. Do you think the KMC chain is good for efficiency?
Yeah, it's better than SRAM for efficiency.
This kid's smart.
Good move, kid.
Wow.
Yeah. You still gonna fight him, Drew?
Yeah, because he's smarter than me. I can't have people smarter than me.
All right, Dizzle. Hypothetically speaking, Lance Armstrong, he listens to this podcast and he's got beef with you and he wants to race you. And he's like, the next Lance podcast that comes out, The Move or whatever it's called, like the whole podcast is just dedicated to how he's going to beat you. And he's like talking about how he's going to go back on EPO and like train 30 hours a week. And he's coming for you. What do you do?
Well, my record with Lance Armstrong is 1-0. I've already beaten.
What did you beat him at Ragbri?
Nah, at the Southern Cross gravel race.
So
what is that?
So that you didn't answer my question. Like the question is, what are you doing in this scenario that hypothetically happens?
If he comes at me, I would. Dang, you raise a good point because it's kind of like what I did with the vegan cyclist. Like I would benefit from doing that, even though if I didn't want to, on a moral standpoint of like whooping up on old people, but it would be very good for like. It would be very good for publicity.
Wait, are you calling vegan cyclists old now?
Think about how many more subscribers and followers I would get if I just smoked Lance Armstrong and he talked about it on his podcast.
Yeah.
So from a business perspective, makes sense. From an athletic standpoint, kind of embarrassing though.
How would the weigh-in go? Would it be like, would you guys just be weighing in to see who weighed lighter?
Well, he'd have to keep his shirt on because nobody wants to see that. So
no, you have to weigh in full kit.
Dude, he looks pretty jacked for whatever age he is.
Yeah, you're right.
Drew is really bagging on old people that are also really fit though. Like it's one thing to like not want to beat like the geriatric, just like, you know, dad bod guy. But I mean, you're talking about Mike Tyson, who's like clearly elite level fitness for his age.
Yeah,
Lance
but
Armstrong, who's probably
we're not
elite level fitness for his age.
But we're comparing them to elite level young people. So compared to Jake Paul, Tyson is old and geriatric and shouldn't have been fighting a young guy. And Lance Armstrong has no, why would he race fast young people?
That's bust him up, dude.
No. His days are long gone.
All right, well, we'll see when we post this on Instagram.
I mean, is
we'll
Lance
see if he gives
Armstrong
you a
faster than a lot of people? Oh, for sure. Is he faster than me? Not even close.
There we go. That's what we want to hear. Classic.
Dude, I beat him like 7 years ago when I was barely training, and now I'm training way more than I was then. And he's only 7 years older. There's no way. It wouldn't even be fair.
Well, you're doing like gym work and running. Is that really training?
I mean, I could beat him off of gym work and running.
What did you put in the chat here?
Just like some stuff about the
if you did Lance
trip.
Armstrong's full doping routine from the 2000 tour or whatever tour he was the fastest, how fast do you think you could be?
Not as fast as he was.
Yeah, but you think you could like win the Grand Prix or something?
No. I mean, Armstrong had like an insane VO2 before the drugs, didn't he?
I don't think his VO2 was very insane.
I think
like it's higher than yours.
I thought it was in the
obviously,
80s. I thought it was in the 80s.
Something about him was like crazy.
Look up Lance's VO2 right now.
I know his FTP. Yeah, 84.
Yeah, that's not, dude. That's like
15 points higher than Dizzle's, dude. That's like,
well, it's 15
like
20%. It's 15 points higher than Dizzle's, but there's probably 30 dudes in Unbound with that VO2. You know what I mean?
Accurate. Right.
What are they doing wrong? Chris Froome was only 84.
I don't know. I'm not ever going to.
I don't know. I know that they've talked about like, or he's talked about how his FTP was like 500 watts.
Yeah.
Which I don't think you could do that, Drew. Sorry.
No, I agree. I'm not saying that I could beat Lance Armstrong when he was winning the tour and fully doped. I'm saying I could beat Lance Armstrong at 60 years old, undoped and old.
Is he 60?
Big difference.
All right, I thought he was like in his 40s still.
Do you think 53? Dizzle, do you think that when you're 53, you will be slower or faster than 53-year-old Lance Armstrong?
Slower.
But 53-year-old Lance doesn't really train that much. Like you could be doing
but like 53-year-old Lance also
Hopefully,
has 20 years of doped up world champion Armstrong in his legs. I'm only gonna have like 23rd place in the GP history in my legs. It's not even comparable.
Yeah, but
And
he's
also
probably riding like 5 hours a week. You could be doing 25-hour weeks at 53.
No, I think he's got me beat.
All right.
I mean, when you're that old, it's all just genetics, I bet.
Why is it? No, I would say it's less genetics.
I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, I would say that like a 20-year-old, like comparing different 20-year-olds versus comparing different 50-year-olds, I would say genetics plays more of a part in the 20-year-olds than it does the 50-year-olds. Because you're taking into account like the 50-year-old's entire life history up until that point. Like, did the 50-year-old like sit on the couch and smoke cigarettes their whole life, or did they train since they were 13?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he beat me though.
All right.
53-year-old Dizzle versus 53-year-old Lance.
All right. Well, you guys want to answer a tire question from Matt?
Not particularly, but we probably will.
Okay. Matt says it's a long one, so stick with me. Well, actually, they were talking about the unpaved PA race that happened last month. Maybe we just skip this one. Sorry, Matt. Carry on. Yeah, I mean, do we want to answer a question that was like specifically about one race that happened a month ago?
No,
sorry, Matt. You should have run.
Sorry, Matt.
or Conti Race Kings.
Sounds just as relevant as all of our other dumb questions we answer.
All right, here's one for you.
There's three of us here, dude.
This one's for Dizzle. I only read like one sentence and it's pretty funny.
All the people are hitting me up this week. I'm glad they heard me say like Dylan's not the only one. It ticks me off when people are like, this one's for Dylan. I'm like, is Dylan the only smart one on the podcast? Like, why do you have to ask him your question?
Dude, did you see how many people were like tagging you in the Lifetime Grand Prix who got into the Grand Prix post?
A lot.
Like overwhelmingly, the comment section was
somebody sent it to me.
Yeah,
I saw it. It's been a few weeks. I saw it like the day after.
Mm-hmm.
They screwed up.
The comment section loves you, dude.
I know. Like, I can't believe they like that happened last year too. They haven't learned from their mistakes. Like, come on.
Well, I don't.
If I have that big of a what do you call it?
Following?
Like, reaction for them not letting me in. I wonder if they let me in, if it would be a good reaction.
It would be the opposite. Your haters would come out of the woodwork and be like, "Oh, dude, you let Rad Dad Dizzle in."
It would still be just as many comments, but it'd be like, I can't believe you let Rad Dad Dizzle.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, I know that the meme on the internet is that the Lifetime Grand Prix is like a popularity contest, but I honestly like, you could maybe make that argument the first year. I think for the past 3 years, it's been very heavily results based. Like, I don't think they're really taking that into account.
I was like,
Well, what if they published all of the applicants that didn't get in, basically, and there was like 40 World Tour pros that didn't get in, but that's because their Instagram following is like 500.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Next year, Logan Paul is going to be in.
All I gotta say is all that
Grand Prix.
effort Dizzle's been putting into trying to grow his YouTube and Instagram following to try and get into the Lifetime Grand Prix didn't work, man.
And I don't get it. How do I have such a big following on that one post and all those comments, but I don't have that? Like, where are all these people on my? I mean, like, why don't I have more followers and subscribers on YouTube if all these people are like, "Oh, we want Rad Dad Dizzle in the series"?
I feel like Drew, you have a very small but very passionate following. Like, your following isn't big, but it's passionate. You know,
yeah,
like cyclocross fans.
You're like the cult leader.
Many of them.
Yeah, that's a good thing, though, right? Is there a way to?
Well, it'd be better if it was big and passionate.
Would you rather have like 150 fake, like, unpassionate followers on YouTube or 11,000 very passionate, we'll burn this city down for you followers? I don't know.
Wait, what? 150 versus 11,000?
150,000.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's comparing your like.
You're talking about my channel. Okay, all right.
Yeah, you got all these fake, like, wimpy
You only have 150,000 followers?
Yeah. 150 like shallow, wimpy, weak followers against my 11,000. My 11,000 just strong, bullheaded, passionate followers.
Didn't we have a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, why'd you guys ask me about the Instagram post?
Nolan from
you just started
Nolan from North
No, I
Dakota.
didn't. Dylan brought it up. I wouldn't bring that up.
Okay, Nolan from who? Nebraska?
North Dakota.
Same.
If you're still working on your July calendar, you should come up to North Dakota and do the Nepo Muck Gnarly. Last year there was a $10,000 prize purse with $3,000 to the winner. The Bonk Bros.
You know who won that race?
Podium. Adam Roberge.
Nah, that homeboy from he's got the gnarliest name. It's Chase's friend.
Eno?
Eno.
Eno didn't
won
win that race.
Pretty sure he did.
Roberge won the race.
Oh, never mind. Eno won this other race that had a good.
Eno was third.
Still pretty good. Eno won the other race, Lion's Mane or something. Is that the?
Yeah, he did win that one. Yeah, or
they were like 1 week apart.
Den or Lion's Paw, something like that. But it's also in North Dakota. All right, so going on. So Drew doesn't call me an idiot. Here's my question: I'm going to compete in the ice cream division, a 6-mile outback course. Most of my rides are 10 to 20 miles right now. Any tips to help an 11-year-old get to the podium? So before you call him an idiot, remember he's 11.
Oh, I thought he meant like his kid was 11 and he was going to help his kid win. I was going to say a bungee strap.
No, let's assume Nolan is an 11-year-old. Yeah.
Well,
dude, Nolan's already doing...
bro, you got to train insane and remain the same, dude. You got to first of all, hire an ignition coach and they'll help you train insane and you won't be the same and you'll just smash that ice cream division.
Do you think we should get some of those tattoos made and bring them to all the races next year instead of stickers?
What tattoos?
Probably. That'd be a good idea,
train insane or remain. We should get a sticker that says that. Train insane.
Tattoos would be cooler, but
remain
sure.
the same.
Yeah, I think Nolan's kind of got in the bag, dude. If he's already doing 20-mile rides and he's only got to ride 6 miles for the ice cream division, man,
it's out and back.
That's going to be a cakewalk.
Well, and you listen to this podcast, so I mean, you're going to be fast just from listening.
No, I think it's just 6 miles. I'm pretty sure I remember it. Yeah, it's just 6 miles. So 3 miles out, 3 miles back.
Dude, you know what else rhymes with insane? Overtrained.
Oh, yep. But we're not going to mention that part of it.
Train insane and get overtrained. That also has a good ring to
it. Yeah, but that doesn't exist. That won't happen.
Okay.
Not to me.
All right. Remember 2 years ago when you were constantly bashing me for overtraining?
I think Scott
not even 2 years ago, like 1 year ago.
Yeah, Chase overtrains too. I'm gonna be his teammate and tell him like, bro, you can train a lot, but not a lot off of nothing.
He's already doing like 6-hour trainer rides.
I know.
It's not even winter yet, dude.
You better dial it back. If you're gonna be my teammate, you can't be overtrained, buddy.
Yeah.
So
tell him.
Now you're saying the opposite because Chase is training insane, and you're like, no, dude, that's too insane. 6-hour training ride is training insane.
Yeah, on the trainer,
yeah.
Like you're literally insane after that ride.
Yeah, but he's got a good reason for it. He's like trying to peak for the Mid-South. He's going to do that early season peak.
Okay.
And then what? Just hang it up for the rest of the year?
Undisclosed.
Go play some golf?
Undisclosed.
Yeah. But he's trying to win. He's trying to win the Mid-South. He's going to come out of the gates swinging. Okay. Is that the phrase? Out of the gates?
Yes.
No. Is that it? Out of the...
Yeah, he's going to be swinging that long dong stem of his. Jason says, hey fellas, love the podcast. Looking for the best places to have a gravel camp. I've been looking into adding some high volume training blocks Dillman has been talking about into my training for 2025. In doing so, a group of my training buddies and I have been looking to have an impromptu gravel camp in the spring in the Southeast. What are some of your thoughts for long weekend camp locations? We are looking at the Brevard area if Dillman is willing to share some of his favorite routes.
Nah,
sounds like they're just trying to invite themselves to your house, bro.
Screw Dillman.
By Dylan Johnson, sponsored by Visit Brevard.
I got a training camp in Townsend, Tennessee, the weekend of March the 20th to the 24th, 5 days, big volume in the mountains, the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. You should sign up for that.
That is pretty much exactly what they're...
Yeah.
In West Virginia, it's probably closer to Tennessee than Brevard, right?
There's only one gravel route, and you could do it. I've done it once or twice, and it's pretty fun, I guess. But the camp is on the road because that's just easier from a training camp perspective. It's easier for me to host it all on the pavement. But I've had guys that have brought gravel bikes and have done that gravel route before. But like if you're just doing it for training purposes, you're gonna get better training on pavement than you are in gravel, anyways. Or at least the same.
True?
I mean, like you're there to get volume.
Why are there no gravel? Why can't you build gravel routes? I don't get that. I'm looking at it now. It looks like there's plenty of gravel.
So look,
in Townsend, Tennessee.
I don't mean to.
There's gravel close, but not in Townsend.
Or there's at least trails. I guess they're mountain bike trails. Maybe.
Yeah. There's mountain bike trails.
I don't mean to turn this into a like let me glaze Brevard for the 100th time session, but Brevard is better than Townsend, Tennessee by a significant margin.
Yeah, but I'm saying they could come to my camp and hang out with me and 20 other dudes that are going to be there doing high volume training for that week.
Clearly, Jason wants to hang out with Dylan. Like he literally put that in email.
Dylan came to the camp once. I could maybe convince Dylan to come again. You going to come? Yeah, I'll come. Oh, see, there you go.
Is that my voice, dude?
Dylan said he's going to be there. He'll be at the camp.
Yeah. I mean, this is like, this is like not a question to me. You already have Brevard. You already mentioned Brevard. Like that is the place to go if you're looking for a place in the Southeast to go. There's no better. Athens, Georgia.
Also a close second, gravel world capital of the Southeast.
Is there good gravel in Athens, Georgia?
I don't know.
Yeah, where did that one come from?
We're just throwing out places we've never been.
Well, Greenville, South Carolina. Do they have good gravel?
No, dude, Greenville, South Carolina. Everything that's good in Greenville, South Carolina, you can ride from Brevard, and then you also get the other good stuff in Brevard.
Plus, you get to see all the white squirrels in Brevard. That's a selling point.
Dude, white squirrels. Yep.
Plus, you can go to that burrito spot that's across from the college. Also a selling point.
I also just wonder...
that one's closed now, but...
What?
Is it cold in West Virginia in the springtime?
It depends on where in West Virginia we're talking about, I guess.
I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder, it's like, you're going to waste a day on each end traveling to and from a training camp. Like, just go 30 minutes away from your hometown if you really want to get away from your hometown and save those 2 days and just train 2 more days. Unless you like have to get away because the weather. Like, I get that. But I don't know. I'm looking on the map. Like, West Virginia is like borders freaking North Carolina. We're pretty close. Like, Are you going to get that much warmer weather going to Brevard?
So you're telling him, like, just stay on your trainer, hunker down.
No. I'm saying if you can ride outside, just do a big camp with your homies, like, close to home. And then you save all that extra money and travel time and put that towards an extra day or 2 of training. Or like go to the South, like where it's actually going to be warm, like Alabama or something.
Well, don't do that.
Or Georgia, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, is the weather in West Virginia going to be that much different than the weather in Brevard?
Probably not that much.
Yeah. So either go to Dizzle's camp that's already going to be set up for you and you don't have to do any of the logistics, or just build a training camp from home or 30 minutes from home. You can still rent like a cabin or house 30 minutes from home.
Not going to be as much fun as the Townsend camp with Dizzle, though.
Dude, renting a cabin 30 minutes away from your house is a bad idea. You just gave some real bad advice there.
Why?
Just go back to your house. You're 30 minutes away.
No, because he wants to get together with his training homies, get away from whatever family life is bogging them down. They can't do all their training at home.
At least drive like 2 hours away so you can ride some.
Then you're wasting half a day, dude. No, I'm saying
2 hours? You could wake up in the morning and drive 2 hours before the sun even rises, Adam. What are you talking about?
Look, buddy, you just need to rent an Airbnb that's already in your own neighborhood. That way you don't have to see your wife or kids.
Even better,
for a
dude.
week.
Even better. You can start your ride from your house, finish it at the Airbnb. You're set, dude. It's already 3 p.m. You can check in, order some freaking Chipotle to your house, dude. Yeah.
Yep.
Then your wife can maybe even come over and like clean up for you while you're out riding. No, I'm just saying, like, I get that people want to make more of a novelty out of training camps, but I'm just questioning the efficiency of doing it that way.
I mean, it is motivating to ride when you're in a new place, seeing new roads. I will say, like you get to a new place and all of a sudden A 5-hour ride feels like a 3-hour ride because everything's new to you. You've never seen it before.
Sure.
So from a motivation perspective, I can see the justification for going to a new place to go do a training camp.
And I mean, I agree. That is more fun. But
yeah, dude, that's why Dylan left his house for 11 months this year.
Or whatever. I think was it Jason on this one?
The riding's not that good in Brevard.
I think it was Jason. Jason's trying to implement that high volume week, man. I'm just saying you can squeeze out 2 more days of high volume if you don't have to drive halfway across whatever 2 states you have to cross to get to Brevard. Or just go to this camp. That's probably the best option.
All right.
Okay. Should we do one more? Or are we done?
Let's do one more.
All right. This is Alex from San Francisco. Hey, all. I'm looking to buy a new gravel bike to increase tire clearance over my current Cervelo Aspero. I was considering
this guy is about to say some bike that can only fit 45s or 47s or something.
Well, so I was considering either a Crux or a Stigmata, but heard DJ on the pod say not to get either of those. What bikes does DJ recommend then? So leaving it open-ended for you.
But the Crux can fit up to 50s.
47s is what they claim, and it can't fit more than a 2.0 in the back.
That's what they claim, but there's room
every frame
in the back.
Claims. Yeah, the claimed doesn't even matter.
Yeah, like, honestly, forget about it. I agree.
It's still relative though. Like if they claim 47 versus claiming 50, like because there's a set standard they have to adhere to in order to make that claim.
I've seen people put some pretty big tires on the new Crux, haven't they?
Lance tried to, and he ended up having to run a 47 in the back.
Because Specialized doesn't make a 2.0 or 2.1 mountain bike tire. That's why.
No, I think he tried a 2.0 Renegade.
Yeah, but here's the standard. You need to be able to fit a 2.2 Conti Race King. If the bike can't fit a 2.2 Conti Race King, you don't buy it.
Agreed.
I don't know what's on this one, but this is a Crux, and it has the Schwalbe. What?
Yeah, a 2.1. It's a 2.1 Thunderbird.
What about on the back?
Yeah, what is that? A 2.1?
I think it's a 2.1 Thunderbird. I've seen that before. I've seen people do a 2.1 Thunderbird on a Crux.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it cannot fit a 2.2 Conti Race King. That it cannot do.
You don't even need that. You only need that if you're terrible at handling your bike.
But if the Conti Race King is the best gravel tire out there, you need to be able to fit that tire, right?
Yeah, in a 2.0 version, in a 2.0 width.
No, they don't make the black chili in a 2.0. You have to
get the 2.2. The best tire.
It's better anyways. Go to New Mexico. Get some hatch green chilies, rub it on.
It's just like if you're I'm on the same page as Dylan. If you're going to get a new bike so that it fits bigger tires, you should make sure it can fit currently the best gravel tire that's out there, which is the Conti Race King.
Wow.
So what bike do you recommend then?
Okay, I'll give you a list.
Felt sponsored ad and State Bicycle sponsored ad here.
I'll give you a list. So the Felt can fit it, obviously, because I ride that bike with
but all your cables are routed externally and it doesn't have UDH. So cool.
Yeah. I'll give you a list, but just to show you that I'm not biased, I will list some other good options. Lauf, 3T, NV.
That's it.
Definitely not State.
That's not my bike. My bike, I beat you on your Felt, and my bike fits 2.2 Conti Race King.
Yeah, but it's like way too close, man. Like
it's just as close as your Felt, bro.
No, it's not. Like
send me a picture of your Felt right now.
I don't have.
Have you seen the new fork he put on his bike, dude? That new fork, you don't even need to trim it. Remember?
Yeah, don't even have to trim it.
Yeah, but did you?
I'm racing the 2.2 Race Kings this weekend in Mexico.
Okay.
Why would I do that if it was too close?
I'm just saying it's extremely close. Like if there was,
it's not extremely close. It's just as close as your Felt.
Dude, you sent us a picture and like it looked like as soon as you put out more than 250 watts, that thing was going to rub the frame.
The only thing that rubbed the frame were the hairs.
Okay.
And it was in one spot and I shaved the hairs off in that spot.
Wow. Dude, that's
doesn't
kind
touch
of
at all.
Hey, you know what? And Drew, I will give State the fact that they're coming out with the UDH version in 2025. I think that is pretty ballin'.
UDH.
I think that notch gives it up an extra notch.
I think the new gravel bike's going to be definitely better than the one they had this year. Not that the one this year was bad, but they're taking it up a notch. Like their bike is actually going to get better.
All right, so we just gave 5 options, right?
I would wait if you're gonna get the state. I would wait for the new one.
He's not gonna get the state, dude.
If he's on a budget, he'll get the state. Because of all the bikes that you just listed, the state is probably less than half of all those frame sets.
Fact.
Okay, I think that's a pretty
dude. But they're coming off of a Cervelo Aspiro, man.
The state will be better than that.
So that's not the full list of gravel bikes that can fit 2.2 Race Kings, but that's like everyone that I can think of off the top of my head.
The Giant.
Right? Oh, Giant. Yeah, dude. Giant Revolt. That's a decent option. Yeah.
Oh, really?
That one's probably got the biggest clearance of all of them, right?
Yeah. Giant Revolt clearance is impressive.
Yeah.
Or Live if you're a chick.
Or if you just like the color scheme better.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Alex. Got you some options. Okay, it's getting kind of late. We should probably shut this thing down.
Yeah.
All right, Drew. Good luck this weekend, man.
Buena suerte.
You better win, dude.
Yeah.
You're missing Thanksgiving for this. You better win.
I'm not. No.
Last year.
Well, I missed Thanksgiving last year. I'm not missing it this year. They moved it the week before.
Well, I think
Thanksgiving moved so that more people could go to BWR.
Oh, so they moved Thanksgiving to
just
make room for BWR Mexico. That makes sense.
Makes sense. Exactly.
Nice.
All right. We'll see you guys.
See ya.